Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to another episode of Connect with the Quran. You're here with Najma Ansari, and we're going to be looking at Surah Fāṭir today, which is Surah number 35. And I'd like you to listen to a passage right from the beginning of it. So inshallah, we'll listen to that and then get into it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله فاطر السماوات والأرض جاعل الملائكة رسلا أولي أجنحة مثنى وثلاث ورباع يزيد في الخلق ما يشاء إن الله على كل شيء قدير ما يفتح الله للناس من رحمة فلا ممسك لها وما يمسك فلا مرسل له من بعده وهو العزيز الحكيم.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim. So that was a passage from the beginning of Surah Fāṭir. And alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair ya fattahu ya alima wa bika nasta'in. So Ya Rab, help me be able to say whatever there is of slightest beauty that I can convey of this immense, beautiful Quran and of this surah which starts Surah Fāṭir, which means the originator or the creator. And it's beautiful if you go into also the tafsirs of what fatara means, how it splits it, and at the moment I'm gone blank on that, but they're beautiful words if you know the Arabic, and I love bringing in that the more we know of the Arabic, the better it will be. So this surah, like the previous surah, Surah Sabah, is around Tawheed mostly, and with Tawheed, it's not just a one-liner, that's what it is, just know that there's Allah. No, if you know Allah, there's a whole range of things that come out of that. Gratitude being the very first, acknowledging with the gratitude of Allah. And now in the last one we were talking about the jinn of Sulaiman alayhi salam. They didn't even know when he passed on. Here we are refuting the divinity of the angels. So it is Allah, yes, He made the angels, He created the heavens, the earth, the angels, messengers with wings, 2, whether we consider it as pairs 2, 3, and 4, but He adds to creation as He and Allah. And this is a beautiful ayah, Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Whenever you're in trouble, whenever you're feeling, you've, God forbid, been through a slight crisis, something you thought was going to happen, didn't, and so you always go back to Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Inna Allah ala kulli. The beautiful passages later on when Allah is not ghafil, Allah is totally knowing of what you're doing. So here, these passages are sort of, I just had you listen to passage 1, the ayahs from 1 to 3, and how far are you deluded if, O men, bring to grace in mind. This is in 3. So the way I have it from the Mufassir I have, and even always it's a good idea to look at the overview, see what it is. So these are, and if you do it for yourself, just see when do the subject slightly changed. So what I have in my little piece of note is that it's 1 to 3 there's a passage, then from 4 to 8 there's another passage, 9 to 10 go together, and 11 to 18. So I'll stop there because those are what I want to cover. So from 4 to 8 they said that if they reject you, messengers before were rejected, and early on in Surah Sabah we had the same thing, that you're just sent there as a messenger to them, and that's it. And if they don't believe, then that's their loss. And then the promise of Allah is true. And don't let this life, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يُغَرَّنَّكَ بِاللَّهِ الْغُرُورِ. So don't be deceived about this dunya. Even else, this word يُغَرَّنَّكَ comes up again, of being deceived, of being led away by the deceiver, that this is not the only dunya, this is not the only thing. And why does the concept of akhirah give us so much solace? We are an iman, we know what nobody sees, but I did so many good things in the dunya. I didn't get a thank you, but Allah sees. I love that ayah in Surah Rahman, Hal jaza'ul ihsani illa al-ihsan. Is there any reward for goodness other than the good? So never for an instant think that whatever good you've done is going to be lost. So anyway, from 4 to 8, they're talking about the messengers. The Satan is your enemy, so treat him like an enemy, and don't get locked into, stuck into his stories and so on. So and then it says that the assurance is that don't worry. Those who reject, they will get a penalty, but for those who do good, they will be in a better place. And then from 9 to 10, it also talks about that it is this. I love this one too. It's about Allah sending the winds to you, and those who it's a warning is issued, and that don't base your life on a false assumption, because that's when you're going to get everything. So if any of you seek the glory and the pomp and glory to Allah, well, I'm saying pomp and glory. Here it just says the ayah that if anyone does seek for glory and power, know that to Allah belongs all glory and power. And so that goes together. But this beautiful idea about Allah, when He brings up winds, dreams are intangible. You've dreamed them, but is it real? Is it not? Is it scientific? We need to have an objective something. So, well, what about dreams? Do you dream or don't you dream, you scientists who are all about, no, that's just something. What about wind? You don't see the wind, but the wind is there. Is it or isn't it? No, but I can't see it. So, okay, so then they say we see the repercussion of the wind. The wind is... So when you see the leaf and the branch and the tree, in the breeze, swinging, or whatever it's called, the phrase is for the trees and the branches to be moving, your own movement, my own movement, what is making me move? The next breath, I'll get it or I won't get it. How? So this reducing everything to the physical of what we see it's just, it doesn't make sense, really. I mean, is that... People like to say, oh, but if I see it, I'll know it, if this is happening. Or why is so much bad happening there? There is so much bad happening, but Allah is in charge. He knows it. So for me, the take-home message time and again, with young ones, with old ones, with those who are sad, with what's happening in Gaza, it's horrific what's happening. But the point of getting into the Quran reading, in Surah Buruj, there's all that, how many people were just thrown in the trenches just because of their iman. And just so, for me, the take home is also never think that whatever we're going through today as a calamity is the worst possible. There have been mean, nasty oppressors in the past. The Pharaoh was an epitome. The children that he killed, when you're yes, when you're not, or whatever, is nothing we go through has not happened in life. It happens in different ways. We say, yes, we're closer to Qiyamah. These are the signs of Qiyamah and so on. But take solace, Allah's in charge. Remember the akhirah. Remember that He is in charge. He will take care of it. So there needs to be this longing that we live this life in a manner so that we get to the akhirah. We will get to the akhirah one way, but we get to the akhirah in a good way. We get to the akhirah when we get up, we will be happy. We will want to be looking for our people. We will want to be getting to the Hawz al-Kawthar and being with Rasulullah and Him being welcoming us to this. So while there is so much warning given about the akhirah, about the day of judgment, and how people's faces will be, they will be blackened and they will be in terror, and they'll say, oh gosh, this is what we were told about, but we just sort of, said, no, it doesn't kind of exist. So we need to be prepared for that, ready for that, and work our life for that end. And we do. Like now, alhamdulillah, soon it's going to be, when it's Ramadan, we start gearing up for it and so on. So when it's Hajj, we start gearing. So this whole life is a gearing up for the time when I'm no more. And then my next life begins. That's where we need to be connecting at the level with the Quran, to be seeing this isn't it. This isn't all it. We're seeing this person on TV, we're seeing this, but this is all just nebulous. It's what am I doing as a take home for myself, for my akhirah. I'll stop there for a bit and then we'll continue inshallah on the surah. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So that was 9 and 10. From 11 to 18, we are just given that everything is in the worldly resources is a blessing for Allah. So back to gratitude, whether it's a long life or a short life, it's all in Allah's hands. So that's that passage. And now I'm just going to want you to listen to ayah 18, which is a beautiful passage, and we'll take it further from there. So Bismillah.
ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى وإن تدع مثقلة إلى حملها لا يحمل منه شيء ولو كان ذا قربى إنما تنذر الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وأقاموا الصلاة ومن تزكى فإنما يتزكى لنفسه وإلى الله المصير.
So that's another beautiful passage. So just in a nutshell, it goes on that up to here is that, it will benefit so again, to Rasulullah in the first place, to us also, that whatever good has been, it will only benefit them, and it will also benefit the one whose hearts are vibrate and living, and they are able to take it home. We had that beautiful passage in Surah Nur when it's Allahu Nuru Samawati wal Ard, and it's about the kindling of the tree, or it's about the lantern, and the heart which is ready to it, we're able to catch it. So the people who become Muslim, their hearts are already softened, and when they hear the good message, they're able to take it. This particular passage on 18 I love particularly. It talks about no walat taziru waziratan wizra ukhra. No bearer of burden can bear the burden of another. In Surah Sabah we just did about how if I do good, it's for my own good, and if I do bad, it's for my own bad. We have a beautiful, it can be so long on this one, can go on and on. A couple of things. My grandma taught me how to say the salah. My continuous salah benefits her too. If somebody taught me, God forbid, something bad, they get the ripple effect of whatever bad I continue to do, whether it's smoking, whether it's anything. So there is that ripple effect, but the decision for me to be doing that wrong is a responsibility I will bear. But yes, somebody taught us, there is that at mind also. But this particular ayah, وَلَا تَعْزِرُوا wizratun wizra ukhra, that nobody can bear the the burden of somebody else, is it resonates. It will come back in Surah 53. I think it's Surah Najm again in ayah 38, and we also had it in Surah Baqarah at 123, where you can't, and it links towards the end of those surah, I think it's Abasa or further on there, in the 30th juz, about how we will be, if we could ransom our loved family and everybody in order to save ourselves, God forbid, that's what the kuffar would be trying to do. In other words, he was to blame or he was to blame. You can't pass the buck. We have to carry our own burden. And this is so beautiful about our deen, as against the belief in the Trinity of Isa alayhi salam, and that he will bear our burden because he died on the cross for us, na'uzubillah. So we are exempt. We just need to believe in him that, yeah, he did a good thing. So now, yes, we are still encouraged to do good, but ultimately we are exonerated from the wrongs that we do. And maybe this is why in the dunya there's just so much wrong going on. They feel, no, Allahu Alam, I don't want to go down that track. But then it's again, we continue from 19 to 28. It says about, it tells you about what kind of the seeing and the non-seeing are not alike. And this Allah says, and what is the seeing? The seeing is of things deeper than the surface. So if anybody ever even tells you, oh, wasn't that beautiful, that trend is beautiful, that something else is beautiful, these are all surface things. Never let those things make you sad that this is what it is, this is the latest fashion, we're behind times, our sofas are so old and we haven't got it up. These are all meaningless things. What are you as a person? So again, the example of the depths of darkness, light, the contrasts that are given so often, and shade here is taken in ayah 21 as something negative. So the chilly shade and the genial heat. So subhanallah, we may be in hot countries or other places would like to think heat is too much and the shade is better. But all these things, Allah gives us these examples about the differences. See that these are the two different types. So they're believers on one side, they're disbelievers on the other side. And just recognize everything is under Allah's hand. So Allah is not in need of any of the partners that they ascribe to him. And then from further on, it goes on to say, from 29 to about 38, that there are those who still, out of the people of the book, are praised that in spite of all the disorder that is around them, they are still, they adhere to the book of Allah. And that's why, the beautiful thing is that those Jews or Christians who became Muslim at the time of Rasulullah, they got a double whammy. They were believers before, and now when the belief is being corrected, they are being brought back onto the good way. So this is how it goes on. And I'm just looking at which ayah I want to really share with you, other than the one on 18, which I thought was the key of this surah, and I'd love to have it memorized, is that in 38, that Allah knows all that is hidden, back to the idea and what is in our heart. So really, if we can fix ourselves and be looking at better, that why is fasting so useful? It's because the concept of taqwa that is being watched. So we need to be watched when I lose the plot, when I am over in anger. Those are the moments to catch yourself. And our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that patience is in the first instance. So when you've had a calamity and you want to now rant and rave, and the beauty is that that's why people say, oh, okay, when I have to do wuzu, I'll come to the salah and I'll get back on track or something. But if you, as a habit at work or something, you've got the foul language mentality being heard and you keep hearing it all the time, and you'd like to think that, no, now when I'm in a good place, in a good company, I won't. But if those things have been embedded in you, foul language, cursing, having an attitude, that will spring out. That will spring out even when you need to be in touch with Allah. So those are, so it's like it's on a blueprint. Even at a cellular level, they imbibe whatever it is. So that's why they say that don't sort of talk negative even about yourself, or I'm horrible, or I'm this or that. The cellular level, they will take that on. So that's somewhere else. That's not what's being said here. But the idea being that it's the moment-to-moment good things that we do that pile up and add up, and that will inshallah cleanse. What do we want? We want a qalb salim. That's what will cleanse our insides. In our outside also, the habit of those who are in the habit of, inshallah, all of us, of saying salah on time, we really go in a panic when it's Maghrib time and we are caught in a place where there might be no wuzu facilities, there might be no salah facilities, no nothing. We really have palpitations about, no, I need to get my Maghrib done because the time is shorter or other things. But at the back of the mind, whether you're at an expo, you're at anywhere, at a meeting, what really is at the back of your mind is your salah. Whereas if it is that, no, today there's that final whatever, whether it's sports, hockey, whatever, and so you're doing like, my salah quickly, I wish this bayan would end, this Friday, khutbah would finish because we have to go and see our thing. All that is, it's just showing you where is your attention. And I love that that's been given to us, that your attention, your niyyah is determined by where's your attention. If my attention is, no, I need to finish my novel, I need to finish this, I need to get that done, and so I kind of have lost the plot on those things. So just have a look. This is not a long surahs, and they're getting shorter now. Not progressively shorter, some will still come long and short, but it's a 45, and they said that, but no change will you find in Allah's way in dealing. That's why the repetition of the same thing needs to be there, of what is given to us, and be reminded that we're reminded that, be on track, and for us, that's for, and if we are in the dawah thing, let us give us our best attitude, our best manners forward. And our manners do shift with our families, with other people, but the more we are able to imbibe, and this I'm saying it for myself as much for anybody else, more for myself, is that the more we hear this, maybe I will be able to correct my lifestyle, my behavior at every level. So I pray it's been beneficial for you, and I hope I am the first recipient of benefiting from the word of Allah and connecting with the Quran. So with that, Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun, wa Salamun al Mursaleen, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuhu.
La 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 la.